Hello everyone. We are about to start another live. I just finished one in Portuguese. We're gonna start this live as part of the project Bert Hellinger. And I'm gonna welcome our guest again. Great that two girls, two Brazilian girls can be here with us. I'm gonna invite Mateus. Leave the other live before coming right into this one here. So, yay, we are back.
Hi.
I think it will be the first time listening to Mateus speaking actually in English.
Yeah, let's
That's
try.
great.
I'll
Oh,
do
so
my
excited.
best. I
So
have a translator here, so if I don't remember any word, just let me take some moments to write here to help me
don't
to
worry.
translate. Or I speak in Portuguese and you help me to translate.
Oh yeah. If there is anything, I'm gonna just write in here that in Portuguese as well. Essa é uma live em inglês. Em português está na página. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say again, thank you so much for Mateus for being here as our guest for the project Bert Hellinger, as a way of spreading the information about the teachings and the work of Bert Hellinger that this year would be turning 100 years if he was alive. So it is such a great honor to be doing this project and inviting different people to join and share their experience, their practice. And I have been trying to align this one with Mateus for a while. Mateus, I adopted as my mentor, and I have been studying with him since about, I think, February. He's also one of the teachers of my post-graduation in Family Constellation with an university in Brazil and the teachers of the Hellinger Schule in Germany. And I have done a few courses with Mateus about prenatal trauma, about the advanced mentorship, mentoring,
Mentorship.
either
Yeah.
way, I guess. And then now we are doing the training as well for one-on-one sessions. So yes, I really trust Mateus as my therapist, as a mentor, as a teacher, and it was such a pleasure to be able to have him here. So this is now through my yoga school there, the Shuni school. Uh,
Ayo.
yeah, and so Mateus, other than being a family constellator, I didn't even need to talk about it in the Portuguese session because most people already know his work. But he works as a bio doctor, a biomedic. How do you say that? Biomedic?
Biomedic. Yeah.
Biomedic in the cardiology, like the heart surgeries. Is that right?
Yeah. Heart
Yeah.
surgeries. Open heart surgeries.
Heart
hmm
surgeries, and
As
he
a perfusionist, this is the name of the profession.
perfusion.
Perfusionist.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, and then well, he also works with hypnotherapy, transpersonal therapy. I was looking now, so he has a lot of knowledge in Chinese medicine, NLP. So there is
Mm.
this man comes with the tools, the toolbox quite full, and which is very humbling and amazing to be a student, to be learning from him, and especially when he brings a lot of authenticity when it comes to the work of Betty Hellinger, a lot of research. And this is something that I actually wanted to start with in English because a lot of people don't know much about family constellations, no, don't
Mhm, mhm.
understand the benefits. Why should I try a family constellation? Why it is so important, or why it is not mainstream so much, especially in maybe in Brazil have become more because we have constellation in school. There are a lot of constellators everywhere. It's very, everybody knows what family constellation is in Brazil. Whereas here, people are like, what is that? And you have to say, well, it's related to transgenerational trauma, inherited trauma. It is not something as well known. So first of all, I would like to see if Mateus share a little bit of his story, how he got into constellation, And then if we could talk a little bit about the method of family constellation for people that are know very little about it. Okay,
Okay.
pass to you.
Uh-huh. Do you want me to tell all the story about my father, or can be
You can
summarized?
summarize if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, um, my father's wife, she's a psychologist, and she went in like 2003 or two. She went to know about family constellations, and after she invited my father, and he liked it so much, and had such an amazing experience in that seminar. And he came home and started to talk some amazing describing and uh, amazing stories about what he saw, what he listened, not even from a person, but he listened from somewhere else something. And as I am a biomedic, and I have this experience in hospitals and mainstream science, like in heart surgeries, and that is medicine by based in evidences. I don't know if that's the way we say
Yeah,
in
yeah,
English.
evidence-based practices. Yeah.
Yeah, I I wanted to know what is all about what he just told me in that moment, because it's my father. At first level, it's my father, and if it was so strong for him, I want to know. I want to have this experience. And if he say to me it is good, of course I would try. So he gave me as a birth gift this family constellation seminar, and I went there in 2005, as in January, as my birthday gift. And it was at first sight like a group dynamics.
Yeah.
Is that the way? Yeah, group dynamics. And I didn't like so much, because I didn't feel in my body, or I didn't feel uh, what was happening. I was just trying to catch with my intelligence, with my cognitive capacities, what was happening over there, and interpreting from my past experiences. So, and when I noticed that the way I was trying to catch what was happening over there wasn't uh, so uh, so wasn't so.
Pode falar em
I-
português se quiser.
Eu não estava tendo resultado, eu não estava tendo.
Yeah, he was not getting anything like not a result, but yeah, it's as if you couldn't really feel anything, right?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling, but it's catch that to catch what was happening over there in family constellation with my cognitive capacities was too small,
Uh-huh.
was too little,
Because
because it was.
is that what you mean? Is because of for you your mindset is more evidence based, scientific mindset, and you're like, no, this doesn't make sense. This is not really. I'm not getting anything from this because I couldn't understand.
Yeah, and only what I was getting with uh my attention and my five senses,
Yeah,
and processing my five senses the way I was used to do,
yeah,
was not enough.
yeah.
So when I noticed that I was with a pain in my shoulder, and it 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 was there since the moment I started to represent someone in the family constellation. And then I noticed that it doesn't, I didn't do, I didn't
Yeah.
nothing to feel that pain. And I asked for the facilitator, I have this pain over here. And he said, just move where you are to where this woman is. And we changed our places. And when we changed our places, this pain just gone, disappear. And then I noticed there is something here that is not only what I am processing. There is something here happening that I wasn't seeing or feeling or processing. And that connected me with myself and connected me with something else. And I started to recognize what is me, what is myself, what is from another place that I don't know where is it. That's the phenomenon that
Mm-hmm.
happened in family constellation. So when the seminar was over, I thought that I should learn family constellation because it's something very different. There is something that happened that we can't explain yet. We have some explanations, some um, ways of explain what happened, but it's not all what happens.
Yeah,
It's
like
not.
theories, no, like Rupert Sheldrake theories or epigenetics, but there are still things that we can't explain, right?
Yeah, I used to say that we don't have any instrument that could catch all the energy, all the memories, or all the information that comes from only this position, because our body is much more that we know, is
Yeah,
much more that we have. So we don't have these instruments that could catch or could process the information that comes from it. Because when we uh, facilitate or we make a family constellation in the with a group of people that don't know each other,
yes,
but as we perform these representatives, this representation of something that this client shows or bring to us, these persons, these representatives, they start to feel something that is
yeah,
not from them.
yeah,
And this is what Bert Hellinger all his life tried to know and to feel and to
yeah,
use as a therapeutic way,
yeah. To
you
change
know.
really lives, no, to transform people's lives, no.
Yeah, and he was not occupied, he didn't occupy himself with explanations about it. He only used it and uh, use it as a therapeutic tool approach,
Yeah,
and also as a source of knowledge from families, from relationships, from ecosystems
yeah,
of humanity in the
yeah.
world.
Like
So it's a
you
different
said
source
before
of
something.
of knowledge. Sorry.
Yeah, on the previous live you said something about like to really help us expand our consciousness, expand our awareness. Family constellation as a tool for that, no? That you
Yeah.
realize through your own experiences. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like when you discover something that doesn't fit to what we know,
yeah,
and you sense it's a great source. And what you see from the source change the way we look to reality. So when
Yeah.
we notice that it became or it becomes a source of knowledge, and that's besides of being a tool to expand consciousness, human consciousness, it's a approach to know more about relationships. And when I say relationships, it's not only the way two persons uh, relate with each other,
Yeah.
but it's more than that. It's the way they are connected through time and space.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the way it affects them. Because when we start a relationship with something, money or work or with someone that we love, with a children, son or a daughter, our life begins to change. And this is an expansion of consciousness.
Mm.
Because when we got conscious, we become aware. It's a better word. When
Yeah.
we become aware of the effect of these relationships from now on our lives, that is consciousness expanding,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and we cannot come back. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot look to the light to life the
As
way we
before.
used to look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is the beauty, no? Thank God.
Yeah. Th- th- I think it's so beautiful because then we know that the reality is expanding, is always expanding. And when we notice that, we expand with it, we expand with the reality. And there is always more. There is this reality that we perceive with our neocortex, this part of our brain that is neocortex, that is responsible to these five senses,
Yeah.
and that is natural for us to, as human beings, to interpret
Yeah.
reality as what we catch with our five senses.
Yeah.
But as we know and notice the relationships, for instance, the relationships, there is something else that is in the reality and affect us.
Yeah.
Does it make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It does. Yeah.
So the relationships, the matter, um, the water, the energy,
Yeah.
the sun. There is so many things in reality that is important to know, and is part of the therapeutic way of work.
Yeah. And then there is also what Betty Hellinger was bringing more and more about the hidden loyalties, because I think this is something that is very, because contemplating what you were saying, first of all, it's interesting how Bert Hellinger would not really mind about explaining, no, about,
Mhm,
yet he's German, and we in the West we are dealing with people that they want to make a cognitive sense about everything,
mhm,
and why is
mhm,
this, and why is that, and why is that. Whereas I guess maybe you are a difference here, but a lot of us in Brazil we are like, oh yeah, because we felt that way, and that's okay. We
mhm,
kind of
mhm,
think the sensorial, the somatics as well. I had the experience, so I don't need to know more. Whereas when we are in the West, maybe some people are in the USA as well, there is more of this. I want to understand and I want to know. And I find this is amazing how Betty Hellinger, being such no an amazing researcher of life, no, of human relationships, yet for him the phenomenon was enough. What he could see was enough. And catching up on what you said, I had an amazing experience once while in Brazil. We were having our dictatorship. Here
Mm.
in Northern Ireland, we were having what we call the troubles, you know, between the country and Irish and British. And
Mhm.
I remember having a client who came because he had the same, or either he had the same name of his grandfather or he was born on the day of the death of his grandfather. And they never created like a closure because he was shot. At the time here, the cars would explode. There were bombs here, right,
Wow.
everywhere, and all of that. So he was shot, and no, there was no understanding what happened. And I remember him being beside me, the client, very nervous. He did bring family members to be in the constellation, and he knew was occult. Nobody knew who they were representing. So he had chosen this person to be the grandfather. And Mateus, that for me was one of the most, I have no words for that constellation. When we talk about the phenomenon, how can we explain that? He had been shot, I can remember how many times. I say 3 times. The grandfather, right? He does that, the representative. Touch here, and touch here. And when I look to the client, he looks and he says, these were the exact same places my grandfather got shot. Everyone that was in the room, like, we were like, wow,
Yeah.
how can you explain these? I don't know. It is what, to me, you know, how I always say, my life before the teachings of Bert Hellinger, my life after the teachings of Bert Hellinger. How can we put those things into words? It's very difficult for people
Yeah.
that needs a scientific explanation about everything. No,
Hmm.
so I know
Hmm.
in the previous live you shared few stories. Would you mind sharing one that are really, you as a therapist, that are really touched you, from the client before and the result, what you could see after the constellation, either in that moment or that the client told you after? Would you be able to pick
Yeah,
one?
there is this explanation that we used to give when family constellation was different. The way we work was different, and I sometimes I used to explain this way. It is like we have this image in ourselves, and we are not aware of it.
Okay.
So this image is inside of us in our unconscious or inconscious thinking, but it's inside of us.
Yeah.
And when we expose or we start to talk about this feeling that unconsciously connects to this image, this occult image in ourselves, this image can be brought to, to light. So when we use the representatives, this image, even if it's an image of something that have happened like 4 or 5 generations ago,
Yeah.
this image start to be lighter, to be in the light, and it's ready to be seen for this person. So when we use the representatives and they feel, and this image is like Adobe Photoshop,
Yeah, like the Photoshop image. Yeah.
yeah, we bring this image and use the Photoshop to change it.
Uh-huh.
And the Photoshop tools uh, is the orders of love.
Mm.
and we can change this image. And when the work stop, and when we are finished in this work, this image, this different image,
Than
is
before.
stored
Mm.
again inside of this person. So he, in this case that you were saying, that his grandfather was shot, and that's the image, that's the revelation of the image. Something has happened, and he, in a certain way, was connected to it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
The
when you
the the
use,
the man who shot, we put because they were very angry towards the person who shot, you know. So this other person that was representing who did it, you know, the perpetrator. As soon as the man did that, he burst into tears and fell on the foot and he started to cry, cry, cry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He didn't even know what he was representing. But
yeah,
afterwards, the client and the family, the father was there, and he was like, they were all so emotional because they just felt we needed this. Now I have a closure. That's what they kept saying. Now I have a closure. Now I can be in peace with what happened to my father.
and that's, yeah, and that's the change of this image,
Yeah,
and it becomes a closure.
yeah.
And for those who see it, maybe would think that it's not real.
Inner images. Yeah,
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 isn't real. But this represents this image, even if don't look real, it have a meaning, a very deep meaning to this family.
yeah,
So this meaning of what they are seeing is like the image uh, uh, continuing
yeah.
in another dimension.
Mm,
And sometimes we have to use orders of love to do that.
yeah, yeah. So,
And
yeah, please.
no, please,
No, I was gonna
I
ask
was,
about this, you know, about like what kind of a personal impact, you know, meeting
yeah,
Bert Hellinger, getting to know Family Constellation had created in your life. You know what? Like I always joke about this, like what Mateus was before Family Constellations, because you already graduated, right? You said you're doing your specialization at the time, right? You're already
yeah.
biomedical at that time. Okay,
Mhm.
so what was that impact of meeting Betty Hellinger? Because we hear all the time, you know, his presence, how Betty Hellinger was just this, no, like a dream that I wish I could
Yeah,
have met, let's say, no?
yeah. I remember now that in that time I used to have stomach aches and uh, azia. How do you say?
Yeah, heartburn, heartburn.
Heartburn.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
Some of the other ladies that speak English can, I think it is heartburn. Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
This inflammation in my stomach.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctors and made this, uh, how do you say in English?
Endoscopy?
Endoscopy, yes, endoscopy. And I had nothing. But every day I have this stomach ache and this heartburn. And I I bring this thing in a family constellation. And what what had have happened over there in that day, I can't remember because I don't understood what was happening. It was so different of everything that I thought about myself, and was a constellation about my organs,
Yeah.
I did digestive organs. And I just remembered that in the end, all the organs was embraced, was hugging. I just remember that.
Which is
And
mind blowing.
yeah, and I think, oh, come on. That's uh, muito fofo, muito
Yeah, cute.
too cute for me. It's too cute for me. But after, yeah, and I used to take some medicines for the stomach ache.
Wow.
And I don't remember when I stopped to take these medications. I don't remember. But since months, I don't remember how long I started to uh, don't feel the symptoms of it. I don't remember. But when I noticed there was several months, I said, I don't have nothing. I don't
Mm.
have any symptoms. My stomach is very okay. I can eat anything, you know. So family constellation can do it. I am a person who lived it, who lived this experience. So sometimes we don't understand, but there is results, and that's what made me go after Bert Hellinger to know him, to understand the way he looked to families and to things, and how did he discovered what he discovered. So I start to study all the roots of family constellations to understand what is the source that he used to drink. Does it make
Mm.
sense in
Yeah,
English?
yeah. We're going to the source of his learning, no, his teachings, because
Yeah,
he studied hypnotherapy as well, did he? And NLP.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. I knew Jeffrey Zeig. That is, he is still alive. Jeffrey Zeig was a student of Milton Erickson, and I knew Stephen Gillian also, and Bert Hellinger learned so much with them, so
Yeah.
much with them, and I that's the way I want to know. Even today, I want to know what was the mind of Bert Hellinger to see the families the way that he looked, because when he starts to be known and famous, uh, the different doctors invited him to show his method in some different patients and clients, like cancer uh, patients and schizophrenic patients and depressive patients and enterprises. He used to show how family constellation works in enterprises, in business.
Yeah.
So, so
Yeah.
that's what made me to know him. I don't know if I'm clear enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was saying in the Portuguese live as well, this year you have been literally immersed, like in studying constellation, getting your first contact for 20 years now, no? And I think a lot of people don't understand how family constellation can be applied to so many sectors, like for education, like you said, the health system as well, the judiciary, I think that's how it's called, no? The law, no?
Hmm. Hmm.
Business, like you're saying, no, is like as a therapy, and it's so amazing because it's like where is the borderline where science meets the spirit, to know how, like where these, no, because reading his biography, no, and observing these, like how all the psychotherapists know that I have one way of seeing things, all of a sudden he's there talking about the soul, no, or
Hmm.
talking about something deeper, no, and how much this brings challenge to people, no. Usually I just feel like sometimes we don't have to understand everything. We really have to have the experience, no? And unless you have the experience, it's like watching a movie and I say, Mateus, you should go and like, to remember I said to you about I think it was the fourth Matrix. I said, what do you think? And you're like, I didn't like it. And I was like, I like it. You know, it is always a different interpretation, no? But when you
Of
have the
course.
experience, no? So what would you say for someone
And
that has never experienced
look to
constellation?
results. To
Yeah, the
look to
results.
results.
Measure the results.
Yeah, don't always look to explanations.
Yeah,
Just look to results. You don't have to understand this, how a surgery will work in your
yeah,
body.
yeah,
Just look to feeling good after the surgery, to have
yeah,
a nice recovery. That's
yeah,
the way family constellation works also. There is
yeah,
a problem to us as facilitators. There is a way, a thing to us understand, so we can be more effective in our
yeah,
jobs. We can be
yeah,
more ethics in our
yeah,
jobs,
yeah,
you know? So sometimes I say to people, you don't have to understand. I don't have to explain everything to you,
yeah.
because when we explain
Go to
a
the
lot
mind.
to people, goes to the mind and starts the defensive
Mechanism.
system. Yeah, the
Yeah,
defense system of this person,
yeah,
and what doesn't make sense to his beliefs, he
yeah.
will defend
You will
himself and
protect, no?
will protect him. And sometimes it is this defensive way is just the way of his invisible loyalties to
Yeah,
suffering.
yeah,
And if I explain, he say, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't want that." But
yeah.
it's only the way he will stay right in the place where he is
The comfort
suffering.
zone.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
comfort zone also. Sometimes sometimes it's not comfort.
yeah,
Sometimes he's feeling pain, he's suffering, but he don't want to live there.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
don't.
he's used to that, no?
He used to that. It's easier to suffer than to solve it.
Yeah,
It's a Bert Hellinger's sentence. It's easier to suffer than to solve it, because
yeah,
when you solve it, you have to uh, release some loyalties. You have to say goodbye to someone that you love.
yeah,
Sometimes to feel happy, you have to say goodbye for someone that you love and say, now I am different.
like mom and dad.
So, for example, yes. Mhm. And now I'm different. I love you. I will always belong to you. But now I do different. I do the different way. And I'm happy the way I am. So, uh, family constellations is about it. We don't have to explain. We have to look to results. And the facilitator need that too. Sometimes we don't understand what is happening, but we are uh, connected. We are guided to solution.
Yeah,
That's what's matter. So if someone wants to know about family constellation, try it. Try it yourself. Search for someone that have experience, that you could trust, that you could trust your love, that you could trust that you will have something different. Not always what you want, but for sure what you need.
yeah.
It's always what you need. So trust to see what you need. Oh, I want to be like this. No, I want to know what I need to grow. That is the
The
direction.
direction. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's it. Okay.
Oh, Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Look, I don't even have my phone here. I could keep going. You tell me how much, what time it is. What else I
Four
wanted to?
minutes more.
Few more minutes. Are we past?
Four. No, just 4 more minutes. And
All right. Okay, and then we wrap. Okay. And I don't even know if anybody have any question because the last time we didn't really have time. But if anyone have any question to ask Mateus, please also write there.
Mhm,
I think a lot of the times, it's like can't remember what something has happened to my life last year that pulled me away from some of the works that I do. And I remember when we were doing the mentorship, we did a practice, we did a systemic
mhm.
practice, and something I was like, oh, I told you, I'm back to dance again, Mateus. I'm back, like I was like
Yeah, yeah.
believing again, And I think that's it. It's like with love we stay. I think it is this, It's like what do we want for our lives, I see
Mhm,
so much of people putting so many limits all the
mhm,
time, like, and then sometimes I am like, I try to respect and honor where everybody's at, but as you know, I start our course is midnight, is 11 sometimes, and we go until 1 in the morning. But because I'm so driven to get to know myself, it is like,
mhm,
where is our, say as a therapist or as a human being, if we want something, what kind of message we can give to that? Because I know you understand the human mind and behavior, and some things stall us, keep us in that steady comfort zone because that's familiar. But it's like, but we know there is more. And in the Portuguese live, you said something about self-sabotage,
mhm,
it's like,
mhm.
how can we actually um go forward? Bert Hellinger used to say that, go to life. That's like, constellation is about understanding life and death at all times, the ancestors
Yes.
and going towards life. So what can we actually, a basic step that I can help people to like go, don't be like in the safe zone all the time if you really want something. I don't know if that makes sense, if I want to.
I don't know if I can tell, but there is this story of Bruce Lee and his friend. And I don't know if you know it, but his friend, they used to run like 4 miles and in a fast pace always. And one day Bruce Lee said to his friend, now they used to do 4 miles, and he said, today we are going to do seven at a more pace. And his friend said to him, no, I don't, I can't. And he said, come on, let's go. And started, and his friend came with him. And when he was four, he was okay. And when he got 5 miles, he started to feel that like he was dying. And sometimes he said, in some moments, he said to Bruce Lee, Bruce, I am going to die. And I can't stand anymore. I'm going to die. And Bruce Lee looked at him and said, then die and keep going. When he said this, then die, his friend got mad and started to run with some anger and go to 7 miles. And when they after the path, he went to Bruce Lee and say, "What? Why you did that to me? Why you said just die?" And Bruce Lee said to him something like this. I don't know if I can speak in English, but he said something like, "When we see limits in front of us as limits, we will stop."
Yeah,
And this is something that it is an invitation to death, to stop.
yeah,
But as we notice that these limits are just plateaus, we can grow and look beyond these plateaus. And when we come uh, up
It's like
this
the
plateau.
next level, no, the next
The
obstacle.
next level, yeah, when we got in this next level, we see another level and see that limit was just a plateau.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
we have to
Another
do
mile.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to change our mindset to see the limits as only obstacles and like to leave the relation with obstacles because it is the source of growing. And then we start to love to grow,
Yeah.
to look life even uh, more. And then we got it like addicted to life
Yeah.
and to movement and to knowing things and to be challenged, to be challenged, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because everything that we do, it's a challenging. It's an invitation to become someone else, to grow, to be better. And I think that's the main message of it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we
Because
we have fear
yeah.
that causes fear, but
Yeah.
we go with the fear as an ally. We take the hand of fear and say, "Come on, let's jump."
It's like giving
And
birth for a woman. You have to do it. The baby can't stay there. You have to give birth.
yeah,
Find your strength.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting
there,
because a lot of there are some people now that then would go against that, and they were like, "Why do we need to get better? Why do I need to improve myself?" And then they challenge this other aspect, but then they keep themselves in that way. It's like, "Why do I have to push?" Do you know?
the mind, the
Yes, the
body,
mind.
the consciousness, they all the life in earth all are directed to evolution.
Yeah,
When we say something like that, we are renouncing nature in
yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
because unconsciously we are renouncing the connection with our mother, you know. So
yeah,
we start to look maybe these all relations so we can recognize the relation of our mother, the importance of the relation of our mothers in our life as a door of life, as a limited way of nature express itself, you know.
oh, that's a golden key to close.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's good. So
thank you.
for I know there are Brazilians here, so for those of you that I'm doing advertise today that want to follow more what Mateus is doing. The next one is about relationship that he's doing, and I keep talking to Mateus. Next year there will be something hopefully in English. So fingers crossed, we're gonna talk eventually about something like that. And
Like this or
yeah,
like this.
yeah. Both for all of the fingers crossed, because I think we need these. Like we need to have teachers and mentors that help us really believe in ourselves. No, because
Mhm.
I never forget one of the first questions I did. I asked Mateus, "When does it end?" Do you remember? I don't think if you remember. It's like when you die. And now I
When you
live like
die.
okay, so I keep going. No, so that's
Yeah.
what we need. We just keep going and finding the strength to continue to grow and being with people that we can be ourselves, that can help us to be the best versions of ourselves. So thank you so much. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you. Thank
everybody
you so
too.
much. Thank you, Bert Hellinger,
Thank you,
for
Bert
bringing us
Hellinger.
today here also.
Yeah. And may
Thank
some
you,
of us
Sara.
to be together in the Hellinger Days. We have the Hellinger Days in Brazil in November, the beginning of
Yeah.
November, and then there is in Germany also the end of November for who's gonna make a double trip or something.
Yeah. I was afraid of being in this live in English.
Oh, but you did a great job.
but this is another plateau now.
Yeah, it's great because I did say I said to Mateus to Niall, no, so my partner also knows Mateus, and I kept saying, how is his English? Like, fine, I understand everything. So I was like, okay, woo.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, gratitude make us
Okay.
rich. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful
Thank you.
Sunday. Muito
Thank you,
obrigado,
everyone,
viu?
being here. Nice Sunday. Have a nice Sunday.
You guys
See
too.
ya.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.